Welcome to the Bogart Podcast, episode number 13. I am Evan Bogart, and with me today is my co-host David Parshall, and we got a show lined up for you today. But call on the show, 585-678-1660. That's 585-678-1660. And email the show at the Bogart Podcast at gmail.com. Find us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Before we get into anything, you have the Buffalo Bills game playing in the background, don't you?
Yeah, how do you know?
Because I can see it from your glasses. It's pretty funny. You can watch it. I don't care. But anyways,
I turned it down. You know, what's so funny is, like, I never got into football until last year.
Mm-hmm.
One of those dudes who were Bills fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
This past weekend, whatever weekend it was that I had drill, this one dude who's my senior chief, he's like, Parshall, I'm like, what's up? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, just waiting for lunch. He's like, I didn't think we had an IDTT in. He's like, you don't. I said, well, what are you doing here? I was like, I live here now. Didn't you get the memo? He's like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, I thought you were still in New York. I'm like, no, we're back in Florida.
Nice.
He's like, where were you at? I'm like, the Greater Rochester. He's like, is that near Buffalo? He's like, I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's like, is he a Bills fan? It's like, you better believe it.
We have one interview, or not interview, but one email we got to get to, and it's about football. So I guess I'll read the first email, and we'll do the football email first. It says this is pointed towards me more than you. So this says, you live in Buffalo County, correct? Are you worried that the one day the Buffalo Bills Mafia will find out that you root for the enemy, the New England Patriots? Why are you the Patriots team? I don't know what that means. Does your family support your decision?
Well, do they support your decision?
My parents, my grandparents, they're all Buffalo Bills fan, and I'm a New England Patriots fan. I've been for years. I used to, when I skied, would travel to the New England area, and every time that the game was playing, they would play it on the TV, and I didn't really know much about football, and so they taught me everything, and then I just started rooting for the New England Patriots. So, I mean, that's why I like the Patriots. I mean, Bills are a good team too. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They scare me because they're doing great this year, so.
Yeah, one game in.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were doing great at the game. So, the next email is...
So, wait, hold on one second. Did they say you live in Buffalo County? Is that what that said?
Country, I think.
Country. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, country.
No, he's from the OC, Ontario County, motherfucker.
But anyways, there's this one that says, love the show, and I'm happy you're back this week. Don't really like the Bogart Podcast past.
Oh, well, you know what, person? F you. Read between the lines.
Yeah, I'm going to get more into why we didn't do one last week. So.
I'll tell you why. He was hungover.
No.
That's why.
Nope.
He was hungover. He had the runs. He had a bad order at Taco Bell, and he got the runs and the shits.
I have not had Taco Bell in a very long time. Very long time. This is probably the longest I've had without it.
I hadn't had Taco Bell in a hot minute. I had it once when I was living back in New York, one work weekend, and then we went to Georgia for that 4-day weekend. We got Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Our friends, they had I don't know, like a gift certificate to one of those delivery places,
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash or Grubhub or
Yeah.
one of them. So we went and got well, we didn't go. It came to us. Yeah, they ordered a bunch of Taco Bell and just random stuff off the menu, and yeah, and it was delicious.
Yeah. All right, and I got to read another email. I was just wondering, what do you use for your podcast equipment? We just use MacBooks, really.
I use a MacBook Air from 2017. Bought it used off of the Apple website, and I use these cool headphones made by Sony. They were $20. They plug in, and when I don't use it with a laptop, I use this cool adapter to plug it into my phone because I'm living in the past.
The dongle? Is that what it's called? A donga?
No, a little adapter.
Yeah, I think it's called a donga. That's what the Apple call it.
I don't know what they call it. It's got this.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah.
Because my phone has this. What do you use then, Evan? You're using a...
I'm using a MacBook Pro from 2017.
Fancy.
I bought it on Amazon for $400. And then I have a Blue Yeti mic, which is $100. And that's about it. I mean, I had a really shitty laptop before, so I just decided to get a new one.
What kind of software are you using for all your audio recording, your video editing, and all that good stuff?
I use a little program called Black Hole that records your audio from the screen or coming from your computer, and it also records when I'm talking and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And when you get it all ready for on the internet, what do you use to?
Oh, I use
video editing software.
I use Apple or not Apple, iMovie. I use iMovie, and I just edit that with what we do when we screen record, and then I upload it onto the internet, YouTube.
Oh, what are you drinking tonight?
It's coming from our koozies, which you can get at the bogartpodcast.com/merch. I am drinking tonight Happy Dad.
Oh, Happy Dad. What's Happy Dad?
It is a hard seltzer that has electrolytes. It's gluten-free and has 5% alcohol.
How many calories?
That I do not know. Actually, it says nutrient facts.
10 grams of sugar.
It has 100 calories.
10 grams of sugar?
10 grams?
I don't know.
It has 2 grams of sugar, or 2% sugar. So 1 gram.
Is that how that works? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways. So the next email is, have you had your midlife crisis yet? Why do you think people in their 30s have a midlife crisis? I don't know if it's in the 30s they have a midlife crisis. I think it's more in the 40s.
Well, I had what I always described it as my midlife crisis when I was 25, so, a few years ago, because I'm only 29. But it's actually a quarter life crisis.
Okay.
So, yeah, I had that back in the day. I just remember it was the wintertime. I was sitting at home, and it was just right before my birthday. I think that's actually what was I turning 24, I think? And I was just stressing out. It was I'm a loser. I got nothing going on in my life. Loser. And then a couple of years later, I went and joined the Navy. And here I am, 29, still a loser. Got nothing going on in my life. Stay-at-home dad with a part-time job.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the time of my life I called it the Great Depression. It was around the time where I got in trouble with the law.
Oh, what'd you get in trouble with the law for?
Just Google my name and you'll find out.
So what was the question these people asked?
So have you had your midlife crisis yet, and why do you think people in their 30s have midlife crises?
Sorry, it's the game. So, yeah, I had mine, and you were going to explain to yours why you got in trouble with the law and why you were going through this with the Great Depression.
Yeah, probably...
I already know why.
I know, too.
For all of our loyal listeners, I mean, you can explain if you want to.
Well, I don't really know if I want to explain it. I mean, that was just a really dark time in my life.
The past is the past. You're here now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so back in the day, this is why I'm trying to think of how to put it. Okay, so back in the day, I got yeah,
couple,
but
2 of them.
So, but back in the day, I had really bad depression. When I was 20 years old, I got professional help with it. And then they prescribed me benzoids. And a benzoid is like a controlled substance that helps you calm down. So, back in that day, I didn't really care. I was taking those benzoids and mixing them with alcohol, and that is the worst idea in the world. You could die from it, and I'm surprised I haven't died yet. But, so I was about around the time, I think it was when I was on probation for that, and stuff like that. I didn't care, so I was drinking with the benzoids. And so probably about 2 years ago, I stopped taking benzoids completely. I noticed that when I was taking them, I was drinking more. And I just decided to kick the habit, and now I just take an antidepressant and that's it, so. But that's why we wouldn't have a podcast last week, because I was feeling depressed. I was feeling at my all-time low. And
the band?
No, not the band all-time low. Their old stuff was good, but not the new stuff. So
I'm not familiar with it.
So last week wasn't really a good week. I didn't really feel like being funny and entertaining. I just felt like I needed a break for a second, and so that's why we had Bogart's Podcast Pass, episode 2. So, yeah, alright, so then the last email is, fall is coming this week. What is your favorite thing to do during the season? Well, football season's usually around the fall time, so I watch football and probably just get ready for the winter, really. I don't really... Fall is a beautiful time. We take Lucy for a walk all the time during the fall because it's nice and cool, and we like to see the nature and stuff like that, so... But... What's your favorite thing to do in the fall?
I like going to Starbucks, getting pumpkin spice lattes, like going for long walks in the apple orchard, just watching the foliage, going for long drives, watching the foliage, snuggling up in my sweaters and my Ugg boots with the nice cool air. I like making a pot of chili every Sunday. All the typical stuff that women like to do during the fall. That's what I like to do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, I'm not really much of a fall person. I care less about it. My favorite season is the winter. So, I guess I get more look forwarding. I look more forward to winter.
Mm-hmm.
And Bills are up 17-7 in the bottom of the second. But the great thing about fall is it's October Festival, and in 2 days I'm going to October Festival in Breckenridge, Colorado. I used to live there about a decade ago.
Nice.
It was all right. I told like a bunch of my Navy buddies a couple of years ago before, maybe it was around the time before honestly I can't remember when it was. But I was like, hey, all my old Navy buddies, we should all go there. They're like, oh yeah, totally. And none of them would go in. So it's just going to be like a family reunion with the wife's side because her grandparents are coming into town and we haven't seen them since Thanksgiving of, I don't know what year it was, 2019 maybe, right before the Rona happened. And the Bills played against the Cowboys that day on Thanksgiving, and the Bills crushed them. And it was funny because, Jess's grandma is a Cowboys fan, so they're all Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
And then I was not necessarily a football fan, but,
Yeah.
I was that day, and now here I am watching the Bills game. But yeah, so, Oktoberfest started in Germany, because it's like the last 2 weeks of September into the first weekend of October. That's what they call Oktoberfest. And, there's a whole bunch of other history of it. So, we got the outfits all ready to go. Not really ready to go, but, we have the outfits. The lederhosen and the dirndl, or the dirndl, however you want to pronounce it. Authentic from Germany, because the wife she got to stop there on her way back from Africa for a week or so to decompress. And so I told her, you better come home with one or you're gonna get your ass divorced. She's like, oh no, I don't want that to happen. So she got me one, and it was awesome, and I love her so much.
Nice.
And so I'm gonna wear that. And that's what I like about fall. It's just the Oktoberfest and all the Oktoberfest beers. Any more emails?
Nope. I think that's it. So again, you could
All right, folks, keep them coming. You know the website. You know the email address. You know all the phone numbers. You know all the things. Just get at us. Buy some merch.
So we talked. All right. So why I shaved?
Yeah. Why did you shave?
If you don't know, or if you didn't notice, I'm completely bald on my.
And here I am. I got my little mustache coming in.
Oh yeah. I shaved my head too.
Whoa! Did you pick it?
No, well, close enough.
Awareness? Is that what it is? Breast cancer awareness?
That's why I did it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I felt like I needed a change. Like, when I was feeling depressed last week, I felt like I needed...
Did you just go into the bathroom, take your clippers, and go...
Yeah.
Even though it didn't get anything right here in the middle because you're bald.
Well, yeah, so I just decided, I'm like, I need something to feel a little bit new. So I was like, I haven't shaved my beard since 2015. Well, I've trimmed it, but I haven't shaved it since 2015. So I was like, all right, well, let's do it.
What's your state-issued ID look like?
I have a beard and long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Has anyone been like, hey, I don't recognize you?
Well, when I was getting my nicotine pouches, the lady was like, you shaved your beard. I was like, oh, how'd you know? She's like, well, I recognize the voice. I recognize the voice, and you kind of look like I don't know, but she recognized me, and then I went back another day, and I picked up beer, and the kid's like, oh man, you shaved, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, why? And I said, midlife crisis. So yeah, I needed something new. Needed something.
You look good.
Fresh. I have such a fat face now. I just remember I watched old photos and my face wasn't as fat.
It happens.
And the other thing too about the whole benzoid addiction thing, I gained so much weight when I kicked the habit. And I like it. It's fine, but I'm not as shaped as I used to be. So
I wouldn't say you were a shape. You were the slowest runner I've ever seen. You could probably not do a push-up. Oh, someone's injured. We got the ambulance coming out.
Yeah. All right, so I've been having a little trailer park problem, or
Oh.
there was some people doing some dirty things in the park.
Oh yeah. Let's hear it.
So one morning, Laura gets up and goes outside and sees a John Welsh a truck next to the fence near where we live, and on the other side of the fence, there's a garage that these people, or there's a house and a garage that these people own. So
Behind the house, behind
no,
the
not
park, or
like if you were going into my park on the left side, there's that house that's right next to two trailers. So John Welsh truck was there, backed up next to the fence. Laura tells me, or probably around noon that day, a cop knocks on my door, and I'm like, "Yep." Had the door open because it was cool air.
like, hey, how you doing? I didn't do anything, I swear.
No, so He's like, "Oh, did you see a truck at 11? A black truck?" And I said no. And I told him my Laura saw a truck at 5 in the morning up in the fence, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks you anyways." So then the next day, I'm washing dishes, and a detective comes up.
Oh shit.
So he is like, "Hey, cops talked to you the other day. What did he say to me exactly?" Oh, he's like,
Spread 'em, punk. Quit resisting.
and so he wanted basically the same information I told the cop, and so I asked him like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, well, we think the person in the brown trailer is stealing a snowblower from the garage." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, I told him about the 5 o'clock in the morning. Laura saw a truck next to the fence. So the next day, they get a search warrant for the brown garage. And I'll post if you're watching this on Facebook, I'll post up a picture of what I saw. But there was a search warrant with a bunch of cops, state troopers, 2 detectives.
FBI, KGB, CIA.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then the guy stole a truck, stole a snowblower, and I have not yet seen anything on Mobile Patrol about his arrest. So I think he went back to Rochester because that was originally where he was from, was Rochester. So
Do you have cameras around your property now?
no, I only have the one that's by my door, my ring. But I mean, all of my stuff that I own is right where that camera is. So I don't.
No, not for you, like to see what's going down in the park. Next time that there's some robberizations going on, you can catch it on video and give it to the feds.
I mean,
you got that bay window in the kitchen that sees everything that's going on in the front
mm-hmm.
of your place, so you could totally put something inside, watch it outside.
Yeah, I mean, let's say I got another ring for that bay window or whatever, right? That thing would keep on going off 24/7 because cars drive by.
Well, don't
kids
do a ring
walk.
Camera.
What's that?
Don't do a ring camera.
Oh, just do like a continuously recording one that has like a hard drive or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What?
I think that costs a lot of money though. I think the rings I only pay like $4 a month to get unlimited storage, and so. All right, what's the update with bills?
I don't know. Some guy's praying right now. Someone's hurt. It's probably Josh Allen.
I hope not.
Down and out for the season.
And then the other day we had a campfire for the end of summer.
People are clapping.
I can see it from the reflection of your glasses, so I'm like, yeah. Anyways, while you're investigating that. I had a last fire of the season.
Why?
Because I'm doing sober October.
You can still have fires.
Yeah, but I'm trying to save.
The fall time's the best time to do fires.
True.
Keep you nice and warm at night. Sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I told everyone that this was the last fire of the season.
And everyone he meets is a girlfriend's family because he's got no friends, just like me.
Yeah. So, and yeah, 3 people came over. It was fun.
Her mom's boyfriend, and one of the kids.
No, it was Laura's mom, Laura's sister, and a family friend, Cody.
Oh, Cody.
So. And
the loyal listeners, are they the loyal listeners?
No, probably not. But Laura's sister went up to this, or lives in the city, and I told her, I'm like, hey, can you give me a case of Happy Dad? So she got me a case of Happy Dad. They only sell them in this area, in Rochester, Syracuse, and Auburn. So, and then they sell them all around New York City. So, I guess the person that was selling the Happy Dad drove all the way to New York City and bought a bunch of them and then sold them in the store. So.
Like, yo, Happy Dad, sponsor us. We're minorities.
Yeah. But, so, I think I got everything I covered. What about you, brother? How's your week been?
Weeks? You mean weeks?
Yeah, weeks, because we didn't have a podcast last week.
Did you finish Stranger Things yet?
Nope.
Oh my god.
I'm probably not going to.
Do you ever watch the TV show Man vs. Food?
Yes.
Okay, so I always see it on the TV when I'm scrolling through the channels, right? So one day I decided to click on it, right? Mm-hmm. What I thought were old reruns of the show, right? But they're not old reruns. It's just some new dude, right?
Yeah, I've seen the new dude.
This redheaded fella.
Yep.
Big redheaded fella. I'm like, who is this guy? How long is the show back?
Yeah, it's been back for a few years.
What happened to Adam Richman? Why isn't he the host anymore? Does he get too fat?
Well, he did an interview with Barstool Sports, and he said he basically only wanted to do the show to pay back his student loans that he had.
Yeah.
And basically pay back all his debt that he had. And then after that, he was like, fuck this, I'm not going to do it anymore. So
it's like I've gained too much weight.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen that guy though. He's like a redheaded fella. I don't know his name, but yeah, I've been watching it now for a couple of years. It's on the Travel Channel now, I think.
Well, it's always been on the Travel Channel.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was on the Travel Channel when I was watching it. I honestly don't remember what channel it was on. But then later we were watching a show on some, I don't know if it was the Food Network or some cooking channel. But it was like the best thing I ever ate, I think, is what the show was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was featured in it. I'm like, oh my god, there he is. Now I can't not see him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was strange. No, I mean, not necessarily strange, but it's like, huh. I mean, I haven't had television, like, cable TV for a really long time. Never on my own, right?
Yeah. Now, when you grew up, did you have cable in your house as a kid?
So we didn't have cable. We had like 3 local channels.
Mm-hmm.
We had like the worst TV reception ever. It wasn't until like, oh shit, I don't even know. Like 2008, 2009 maybe. We were able to get Dish.
Okay.
And high-speed internet. Now my parents have, I think, DirecTV. I don't know what they have now.
Yeah. When I grew up,
a billion channels, nothing on.
When I grew up, we had the local channels and that was it. And Then, probably in my senior year in high school, my dad knew this guy from work that basically hacked into the satellite companies. And basically what he did was he had this card reader, and it would shoot a signal that was in this card. And the satellite company didn't know about it. So basically we were getting illegal cable for a while. And then my senior year in high school, we got regular dish because my dad quit the job where he worked before. So we ended up getting dish my senior year in high school. And then now my parents live 3 hours away and they don't have cable. They don't have internet. They just...
What do they do? What do they do for fun?
I don't know. They drive around lakes and shit. So...
Like, I know. I remember growing up, like, we had, like, the worst service for television. And we had Syracuse channels. Right? So
yeah.
we couldn't even watch the local news.
But Saturday mornings, though, on the local channels were the bomb. Cartoons and everything. It was good.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore, is it?
No. Now it's everything's on streaming services and
Today's
shit.
kids will never know.
Yeah, kids will never know. But, what else you got there,
I got
buddy?
some other things. So, I can't remember what day. I think it was like was it the first football game of the season? The Bills versus somebody. I don't remember who they played.
The Bills versus the LA Rams.
So, Ozzy played the
Yep.
halftime show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't show it on television.
Well, they showed a little clip of it, but they didn't show the actual concert
Yeah, they
part.
didn't show the whole performance. So anywho, this is for all the music people out there. Ozzy's new guitar player, right? It's
Mhm.
not Zakk Wylde anymore. Even though Zakk Wylde did the show, the halftime show with him, but he's got this new kid and his producer, Andrew Watt, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Just, what's his deal? You know what I'm saying? And I think he also does work with Post Malone. You know the rapper Post Malone.
Yeah.
But I remember a couple years ago, Ozzy was featured on one of these Post Malone songs, and all these kids were like, who's that old guy?
Oh.
Like, who's that old guy? No, I don't think so, kid.
Yeah. I have some respect. But, yeah. But anyways,
Do you like Ozzy?
yeah, he's not bad.
Not bad.
I mean, I'm not really into that kind of music. What?
That kind of music? I am offended.
Why are you offended? What? I mean, when I grew up with you always listened to that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff.
Oh my god, anything I say is going to be offensive to you, so... Okay.
You hippie wearing your Grateful Dead t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, you don't like my kind of music, so...
I mean, you listen to Irish punk rock. And
I used to. I don't listen to it anymore. I listen to... I got Sirius Satellite Radio back.
Then you only listen to Ozzy's Boneyard?
No, I saw that station, though. But they had, whatchamacallit, the emo project. And it plays, like, some new school emo music, some old school music, or emo music. And that station I like, and then I like the Grateful Dead channel. So
yeah. Let's see. I got some more things. So, all right. Cruising around Florida, going places and stuff. And it's a lot of traveling on the interstate or throughways or whatever you want to call them. You're always getting off an exit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it seems like I always see a hobo in a wheelchair, right?
Is that the one you sent me?
No, that wasn't.
Mm.
This was like, that was like, yesterday or the day before? But this was like, I wrote this like a couple weeks ago. Wrote this down because like I see hobos all the time, like sitting in wheelchairs, not using their arms to push, but sitting in the wheelchair, using their feet.
they're just using their feet to push along, right?
Yeah, not looking where they're going, crossing through throughway. They're about to get smoked, man. It's like, what is up with these people? It's like, do they have a death wish? Is that why they're doing it? Walk in the middle of traffic. But like, yeah. So I was like, what's the deal with the people in the wheelchairs down here in Florida? I see so many people in wheelchairs that use their feet to move. Like, not using your arms, wheels. And then, was it yesterday? Or I can't remember what it was. No, it was, what day was it? It was, I think it was Friday that I saw that dude. Like, he looked like he just got dropped off or just got to the hospital, right? And they let him keep the wheelchair. He had a cast on the leg, still in the hospital robes. And he's like cruising down the middle of the street, and for like 5 minutes he's like trying to like put his what are they called, crutches, like get him secured on his wheelchair. I mean, he was using his arms to push the wheelchair because he's got like a bum leg. And it took him like a half an hour to go down this 1/4-mile road right here in the middle of the street. And then I saw him today. He changed his clothes. He was coming a different way, but he was a little faster.
It just I don't know why when you told me about these bums in wheelchairs, but it reminded me of like Murder Ball. Remember that? That was big for a while. Do you know what that was?
I don't. I've heard of it. I don't actually know if I know what it is.
It's just basically wheelchair rugby. They just like plow into each other and they throw a ball and they have points and shit. But it just reminded me of that. Like, just I could see hobos like plowing into each other with wheelchairs and shit.
Yeah.
But,
all right. I gotta go do something real quick. It's not gonna take long.
I'll do a commercial real quick.
I gotta go take my medicine.
Yeah. All right. So while Dave's doing that, call in the show, 585-678-1660. That's 585-678-1660. Email the show at thebogartpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our merch page. We got these koozies. Great little koozies. They're only, I think, $4. Pick one up. Support the podcast. What else? Buy the Halloween 2022 edition shirt. It's $20. It has a badass jack-o'-lantern and stuff like that. But you can go buy that and much more at thebogartpodcast.com/merch. And yeah, so, but yeah, I was just telling the listeners about the Halloween shirt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, buy it.
Yeah. And then Linda, I think that was her name. She bought the limited edition red logo t-shirt. It was one of a kind. It was just a trial shirt I made. And yeah, she bought it. And so thank you, Linda.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I'm thinking about doing some other one-time limited edition shirts. Maybe different colored logos and stuff, and see if people would buy it.
So. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So I have to take medicine. It's a great segue into what I'm going to talk about next.
Okay.
So I had a medical checkup the other day. I made the appointment almost 2 months ago, so it's like the beginning of September. But they're so like, unfortunately, with maybe medicine, they're so backed up. And so like, yeah, we can get you in a month from now. Like, okay, cool. So it was, just going in for the annual checkup, and just gonna write it down. So I had a medical checkup. The Navy's been telling me for years that I have high blood pressure. I didn't want to believe it. I do know that I've got the bad anxiety, not the social anxiety that you have, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what I have written in here. I wasn't on any medication or anything. I don't smoke. I rarely drink now. Anywho, I'm now on high blood pressure medicine. And at the time that I wrote this, I couldn't swallow pills, never could. And I had to have my lovely wife help me with it. So now I can swallow pills at 29 years old, and some years. I just remember like growing up, just my mom screaming at me about not being able to swallow pills, and like she's not making it any help and not making it any easier. But yeah, so I'm on high blood pressure medicine.
That's crazy.
My last checkup, a year ago, the doctor said I was obese, and I went to go see a nutritionist, and then I moved to New York and I dropped like 20 pounds. I don't know if it's like living in a place with a higher altitude makes me lose weight, or equal out or whatever. But like when I was in Colorado in that really high elevation, I dropped a bunch of weight. Then I moved back to New York, and I kept weight down and joined the Navy, and then like literally I'm at sea level, and I gained like 40 pounds in the past 10 years, but I've been living in sea level elevation, so when I went back up to New York after living down south at sea level for almost a decade, I dropped 20 pounds being up there for those few months, and then coming back to Florida, I'm back at 230 pounds.
Jeez.
But whatever. So I don't know. Life, man. Life. I'm on the high blood pressure medicine, and like my mom always said, the family has been blessed, right?
Mm-hmm.
To not have the cancers or anything.
Oh yeah.
But we've been cursed with everything else.
Yeah.
All the other, like, everybody wears glasses. My grandfather's got a bad heart. My grandmother on my dad's side's got a bad heart too. So it's genetics.
Yeah.
Bad everything.
Yeah.
So
I
can swallow pills now. First time in my life I've ever been on medication. Whenever I got prescribed something, I always try to crush it up and put it like a cracker with peanut butter or applesauce or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, we're getting older.
How do you take pills?
I just swallow them.
Jess was like, take a big gulp of water, hold it in your mouth,
mm-hmm.
and tilt your head back, and just drop it in and then swallow, and it'll go down like that.
Well, I learned that if I put the knife in my mouth, right, just pop it in, and then take a big swig of water, and then just swallow everything whole. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could never do it.
I mean, but I told you on a couple podcasts ago that I almost choked on a fucking vitamin.
Yeah.
That was scary as all balls.
Luckily, these high blood pressure pills, they're not huge or anything. So back in April, when I came down to Florida for some Navy stuff, doing ammo physical, the doctor said, I'm gonna prescribe you some high blood pressure medicine. I didn't want to believe it because I thought it was under control,
Mm-hmm.
But so I have this what I call white coat syndrome, right? So whenever I go to the doctors, I just get super anxious, and I do believe that my blood pressure spikes through the roof.
Yeah.
So, and also when I was doing the thing in April,
mm-hmm.
so you when you do your blood pressure, you're supposed to be calm and relaxed, and you're supposed to use your left arm. So these people just rush you in, and they have one machine set up for two people, the
mm-hmm.
left side and the right side. So they set me where they would check it on my right arm, which I've never done that ever before. So I'm like, oh, this is already starting to get through the roof. And I always told him, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, because it's I'm in a lot of stress right now, and blah 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 this, and
I think what you should do, and this is what my dad did. My dad has high blood pressure. I mean, I don't have high blood pressure. My cholesterol's bad, but
Yeah, I can tell.
yeah,
Fatty.
my cholesterol's not that great. But my dad has high blood pressure, and he bought one of those machines that you push the button, you put it around your arm, it squeezes it, tells you how much your blood pressure is.
A heart pressure monitor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I have one of those.
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say take the medicine for a while, then check it every so often, and if you're back to normal, I just tell your doctor, I'm like, I think my blood pressure is back to normal. I don't think I need the pill anymore.
Yeah,
And
it's probably not gonna be like that, you know.
No?
My grandfather's got it. Probably all my uncles probably have it, you know.
yeah, it's a silent killer.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Laura texted me
Yeah,
said
Uh-oh.
that someone from Buffalo Bills was in an ambulance.
Yeah, we talked about this. I don't know who.
He was injured. You said he was injured, but he actually took out with an ambulance?
Well, I said the ambulance is here. I didn't see it happen, but whatever.
Ah,
Who cares? Right?
I guess I'm not watching the game. You are. So
December 6, 2021. Snow. Let's see what I got. Have you, with, the passing of the Queen and everything,
oh yeah.
I wrote this, I think I wrote this before it happened. It's like, I've noticed that it seems to me that British males,
Mm-hmm.
have very deep voices. Right? So,
Yeah.
go listen to British men speak, and they have, really deep voices.
And their accents are crazy. Like, you can't understand half of what they're saying.
It's not Josh Allen who got taken out in the ambulance, because he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got sacked.
Oh. But yeah, so I mean,
Let me hear your best British accent.
top of the morning to you. What's yours?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
That's like
that's
Jersey Shore. How you doing? How you
Hey,
doing?
how you doing? You put me on the spot. I can't do an accent.
Nah, that's all right.
So my wife, her dad, mother, is British.
Oh, really?
100% fresh off the boat, from jolly old England. She's no longer with us. She passed away a bunch of years ago. But I told Jessica, babe, you could probably, if you weren't in the military, have dual citizenship. Because she loves the British culture and humor and everything. She drinks her teas, and we watch this show called The Great British Bake Off.
Okay, yeah.
Netflix. I got her into baking, and you should check it out. How's the new TV, by the way?
Okay, so I got rid of the projector that we had. I liked it, but at the same time, it like during the day you can't even see the screen, so it's like the only time you
super
can.
dark in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna splurge a little bit and buy a TV. So
Why? Wait, did we talk about how you got a Nintendo?
the Wii.
Or whatever. The Wii.
Yeah, I told everyone that I bought it, but I mean,
Okay.
but that was the other reason too. Is I bought a Wii from this guy, and I couldn't use it on the projector because it was just too squirrely and you could barely see shit. So
When you were telling me about the TV that you got, the size that you got, I was just like, you told me it was a 65-incher, right?
Yep.
For some reason, I was just thinking, the whole time that you got, a small little 32-inch TV.
No.
Even though you said 65-inch. Why would you get something so tiny?
No, I mean,
Just go big or go home, but, 65 is still pretty big. My TV's only 55-inch, but...
yeah. I mean, the other thing too is...
love to have a 72-inch.
Oh, yeah, me too. They sell 85-inch screen TVs for $1,000.
That's so big.
It's so big. That is so big. And I was like, the TV that I bought was
You're like, yeah, I
$400.
want to. You're like, I want to. $400.
$400. That's it.
That's not bad. Did you
That's
get it
not
on
bad.
Amazon?
No, I got it from Walmart.
Oh, Walmart.
I went. Oh, so that's a crazy story too. I'll bring that up. So I ordered the TV from Walmart.com and I had it delivered, and I was like, okay. It said 2 day delivery. So then the next morning I get an email and it says it's going to deliver the next day, and I'm like,
Awesome.
I'm like, cool. You know, FedEx,
No, I'm not ready.
FedEx, UPS. I don't know where it's coming from. It didn't have a tracking number, so I'm like, okay. They came from the actual store in Canandaigua. It was like Instacart. So they put it in the back of their car and delivered it to my house. And I'm like, I was so dumbfounded because I thought it was coming from like UPS, FedEx.
Some guy pulls up in his Honda Civic.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, you Evan? Maybe.
So
Right?
yeah, and it was the weirdest thing ever. It was like Instacart for like a TV. So
Walmart employee.
no, it wasn't. It was like some random person that was delivering them. I guess they get hired to deliver things from Walmart, but yeah.
So when we bought our TV, 7 years ago or something? No, maybe not. Maybe like 6 years ago. So we're now a one-car family. At the time, we weren't a one-car family. She had the cross track, and I had my little Jeep and bought this TV. The 55 inch is the only size that will fit in the car. Like if we went bigger, it wouldn't have fit. It's like we had to this is like before we had a kid in a car seat, so like we could fold it down and have lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like the TV is the only thing that fit in there. That size is the only size that will fit in the thing. And so like we can't get bigger because we still have the same car. Now we only have one car, so. But I would love to have a huge one.
Yeah.
Just be like. Let me take a gander, Rooney. Oh yeah, so that picture that I sent you today of the flip flops.
Oh yeah, the pool cleaner with the socks and flip flops.
It was just like the funniest thing ever. He's like, it was warm today, but like the pool is so cold. So like to answer your other question that you had recently, if they heat the pool, I don't think they heat the pool during the fall and the winter. So I think it'll be closed.
Oh.
But we went swimming twice. We went like Friday or Thursday and today. It was warm out. It's starting to cool off. It's in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So it's like starting to cool off, right? But the pool is just like so cold.
Yeah.
And we got out of the apartment today and we went swimming, and then I got the message like, all right, I'm on my way home, is what the wife said. I'm like, all right, kiddo, we're just gonna. She was like freezing, so I'm like, all right, let's get you all wrapped up and sit in the sun, warm you up, and then the pool cleaner comes, and I noticed that it needed it, when I was swimming, because there's like green shit all in the bottom of the pool. So he comes, he like dumps some chemicals in it, and then he gets a scrubber and he scrub it in, and then I see him get on the ledge. He's like, all right, so he can reach better. And then I notice his feet. He's wearing flip-flops with socks, and it's an infinity pool, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the water rolls over the edges, and his feet are just getting soaked, and he's wearing his socks, and he's just scrubbing away. It's just so funny.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. So you should post that picture up.
I'll throw it up right here.
Have that be the thumbnail, or did I send you the pictures of the dude in the wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
The scrubs and the hood.
Yeah.
Have that be the thumbnail or something too.
No.
But it's just so funny, this guy. So like, he's just going around the pool and he comes back. I'm like, I'm gonna sneak a peek at this guy. Sneak a peek at this guy. He's just wearing his flip flops and socks, cleaning the pool. It was so funny.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But yeah, the next time we have an episode, I will be back from sunny Colorado.
Yep, and you'll have to tell us all about that. Yeah. So that is it for the Bogart Podcast this week. Call on the show, 585s.
I was going to say one more thing.
Yeah, what's up?
So you know when you, like, on the YouTube video, you have, like, all the, like, the links right in the description?
Yeah.
You should make them clickable. If you can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I'll try, but I don't think you can. I think it's
you
just...
Can.
Oh, you can?
You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, real YouTubers have all applicable links down below, and they can click on it and take you to Amazon to support their page.
Oh.
Like the affiliate links. But yeah, you should totally make it so you can, like, somehow, some way...
Yeah, I'll Google it.
Instagram and the Facebook and, you know, Google Play or whatever is the shit that people listen to is on. I mean, when I listen to the podcast, I go to Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Because we're better than people. We have Apple products.
Yeah. So, well, that's it for this week. Again, follow us on all social media accounts. Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, it's Evan Bogart 1080. And then YouTube is the Beer Pirate Radio. And Facebook is just regular the Bogart Podcast. So, I think that's it. So, until next week, see you on the other side. This has been a Beer Pirate Radio production.